What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Off the Schneid. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tennessee Titans and their team needs heading into the 2021 NFL Draft post free agency for the most part. On the offensive side of the ball, what do we got? I think, again, they're going to need to plug a huge hole at right tackle. Since Jack Conklin, obviously the Isaiah Wilson experiment didn't work out at all for them or any other team in the NFL. So they still have a huge hole there. Taylor Lewan still good on the left side. Roger Saffold, Ben Jones, and Nate Davis, I think those were the starters last year to start the year as well. But they got to plug that hole at right tackle. They brought in Kendall Lamb from the Browns, but I highly doubt he's going to be that guy. First pick they have, 22nd overall. I think I look to address it there. I don't know if there could be a trade out there for, a guy floated around a couple times as Ryan Ramczyk from the Saints, given their cap troubles and end of his contract type of a thing. But they're probably going to address it in the draft, and we'll see who they end up with. But it's definitely a huge need. Running backs look, obviously, they have one of the best, if not the best in the game. Derrick Henry, Jeremy McNichols is a fantastic backup. Foreman, Duranton Evans, they're okay at running back. And believe it or not, tight end, even though they lost Jonnu Smith, I still think that they have, enough to be, okay. They're okay at tight end. Anthony Ferkser was pretty good in spurts, and he'll take on a larger role this year. Jeff Swaim is okay. He can still play and get it done, but I really like Jared Pinkney. I believe this is his second season as far as I can recall off the top of my head, and he was very good out of Vanderbilt, I believe, again, off the top of my head. He was a quality pass catching option. So, he can move into that role as well or help out anyways. Wide receivers, where I look for them to add at some point in the draft as well. Obviously, A.J. Brown is a star in the making. Josh Reynolds was a great pickup for them. Lost Khalif Raymond. Obviously lost Corey Davis. So they're going to need some help. Cameron Batson can play depth-wise. Nick Westbrook, depth guy, sure, out of Indiana, maybe. We'll see. I think they need to add another running mate for A.J. Brown. Again, Josh Reynolds is fantastic there, but biggest need offensively is going to be that right tackle spot, in my opinion. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, I think they did a great job of plugging holes where they could in free agency. Danico Autry, that was a head scratcher for me that the Colts just let him go. He might have been one of the better, pass rushers on that team, if not the best, besides Justin Houston, who's also still a free agent. But anyways, Jeffrey Simmons is still there. Obviously, you can see a big hole at nose tackle they have. That could be Daylon Mack, at least in a depth position type of a thing. I do expect them to add a big body plugging up the middle. But Daylon Mack should move up into that position there. I think they're going to have a very, very, very capable pass rush with Harold Landry and Bud Dupree. I think that's a solid, very solid 1-2. Might be pushing one of the better in the league, especially in a 4-3 defense with Danico Autry and Jeffrey Simmons, that sort of a thing. So I do quite like their opportunity to get after the quarterback. I like their linebackers. Jayon Brown, Rashaan Evans. I think that's very, very quality. Not a ton of depth, though. That's my only gripe there. There's not a ton of depth, but the starters are all in a very good spot, especially if they can add a quality nose tackle to rotational with Daylon Mack maybe type of a thing. They lost an absolute ton on the back end of this defense. Puts them in a really tough position. Christian Fulton needs to be a guy that they drafted him to be. I'm not a huge believer in Janoris Jenkins anymore, to be honest. Kevin Byard is still a very, very good safety. Amani Hooker is definitely helpful. I think that Dane Cruikshank can be a Dirty Dan Sorensen type of a guy, but you're not really loving the fact if you're relying on him. So I definitely think they need to add a corner and a safety to help out this defense, especially on the back end, or just 2 quality corners, something like that. They're not going to be able to fill all their holes unless they get lucky in the later rounds. Mind you, they do have 4 picks in the top 100 and then 126 there. They do have very good capital, and they could, as long as everybody hits, which is never going to happen, right? But as long as they can plug up right tackle and then get some help on the back end of the defense, I fully expect, regardless, this is still a quality roster. I still expect them to be a playoff team and challenge for the division. I think it's more or less a 2-horse race between the Titans and the Colts for this division. So we'll see. I do like, it's going to be interesting. New offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, is gone now. Mike Vrabel is a fantastic coach. He's proven that he is. So we'll see. There's just the depth is in a rough spot for the Titans. It hasn't mattered in the last few years. It really hasn't mattered. They've been lucky to stay fairly healthy. And I think that they did a great job in free agency to plug up some holes where they could. Again, so let's go through the order of operations here and rank the importance of need here. Right tackle, number 1, I think, is the big need that you have to tackle. And you got unlucky with Isaiah Wilson, however you want to call it. You got unlucky there. So you need to fill that hole left by Jack Conklin a couple years ago. Corner is absolutely a massive need. And then probably another defensive back, whether it's safety or another corner. Then I go probably a big nose tackle to plug up the middle, help out with Daylon Mack, and then a wide receiver to help out and give another target to Ryan Tannehill there. So yeah, again, like I said, probably another 2-horse race for the AFC South, between the Colts and the Titans. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Appreciate the like and subscribe on your way out. And we'll see you on the next video.